When I began my study of success, I did not fully understand the invisible force that separates those who achieve extraordinary results from those who struggle endlessly. I interviewed some of the greatest minds of my time, men who built fortunes, led industries, and transformed ideas into reality. While their circumstances differed, I discovered a common thread, a principle so powerful yet so subtle that most people overlook it entirely. That principle is autosuggestion. Autosuggestion is the process by which you influence your subconscious mind through repeated thoughts, beliefs, and mental images. It is the bridge between your conscious desires and the deeper forces that govern your behavior, decisions, and ultimately, your results. You may not realize it, but you are practicing autosuggestion every day, either consciously or unconsciously. The question is not whether you use it, but whether you use it intentionally. The human mind is a remarkable instrument, yet it is not neutral. It absorbs, processes, and acts upon the ideas that are most frequently impressed upon it. Every thought you repeat, every belief you reinforce, becomes a command to your subconscious mind. Over time, these commands shape your habits, your reactions, and your perception of reality itself. Consider for a moment the individual who constantly thinks, "I am not capable," or "success is not for me." These thoughts, repeated daily, become embedded in the subconscious. The individual begins to act in ways that confirm this belief, hesitating, avoiding opportunities, and ultimately failing to achieve their potential. This is negative autosuggestion at work, quietly shaping a life of limitation. Now imagine the opposite. An individual who deliberately and consistently impresses upon their mind the belief, "I am capable of achieving my goals, I attract opportunity, and I persist until I succeed." Over time, these thoughts reshape the subconscious mind, influencing behavior in subtle but powerful ways. The individual begins to take action, to recognize opportunities, and to persevere where others would quit. This is the power of positive autosuggestion. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between truth and falsehood. It accepts as reality whatever is repeatedly presented with emotion and conviction. This is why repetition alone is not enough. You must feel the belief. Emotion acts as a catalyst, accelerating the process by which ideas are accepted and acted upon. When I speak of reprogramming the mind, I do not refer to a mystical or abstract process. It is practical, deliberate, and systematic. You begin by defining your purpose clearly. What do you want to achieve? What is your goal? Once this is established, you create a statement, a clear, concise declaration of your objective. This statement becomes the foundation of your autosuggestion practice. Each day, you repeat this statement, preferably aloud, with emotion and conviction. You visualize the outcome as if it has already been achieved. You imagine the circumstances, the feelings, and the results. This repetition, combined with emotion and clarity, imprints the idea onto your subconscious mind. Over time, it begins to influence your actions and decisions in ways that align with your goal. It is important to understand that autosuggestion is not a substitute for action. It is a tool that enhances action. It prepares the mind, strengthens belief, and aligns your thoughts with your purpose. Without action, autosuggestion is ineffective. But when combined with consistent effort, it becomes a powerful force that accelerates progress and multiplies results. Many individuals dismiss this principle because they do not see immediate results. They expect transformation overnight, and when it does not occur, they abandon the practice. This is a mistake. The subconscious mind operates gradually. It requires repetition, consistency, and patience. Just as a seed does not become a tree in a single day, so too does the mind require time to absorb and act upon new ideas. In my work, I have seen individuals transform their lives entirely through the disciplined application of autosuggestion. They began with nothing more than a clear goal and a commitment to daily practice. Over time, their thoughts changed, their actions followed, and their circumstances improved. What once seemed impossible became inevitable. Autosuggestion also influences your perception. It shapes how you interpret events, how you respond to challenges, and how you recognize opportunities. A mind conditioned for success sees possibility where others see obstacles. It persists where others quit. It acts where others hesitate. This shift in perception is one of the most powerful effects of autosuggestion. Another critical aspect is the elimination of negative influences. Just as positive thoughts shape your mind, negative thoughts can undermine your progress. Be mindful of the ideas you entertain, the conversations you engage in, and the information you consume. Protect your mind as you would protect a valuable asset, for it is the source of all achievement. The habit of autosuggestion, when practiced consistently, becomes automatic. You begin to think in alignment with your goals without conscious effort. Your mind becomes conditioned for success, and your actions follow naturally. This is the ultimate objective: to make success a natural outcome of your thinking patterns. In conclusion, autosuggestion is not merely a technique, it is a fundamental law of the mind. It determines the direction of your thoughts, the strength of your beliefs, and the quality of your actions. By mastering this principle, you gain control over the most powerful force available to you, your own mind. In the next part, I will explain how belief and emotion amplify autosuggestion, transforming simple repetition into a force capable of reshaping your entire life. In the previous section, I introduced you to the principle of autosuggestion, the means by which you influence your subconscious mind through repeated thought. But repetition alone is not enough. Many individuals repeat affirmations daily, and yet see little or no change in their lives. They speak the words, but they do not feel them. They declare success, yet inwardly they doubt it. And herein lies the missing element: belief, intensified by emotion. Autosuggestion without belief is weak. It is like planting seeds in barren soil. No matter how many seeds you sow, nothing grows. But when belief is present, the soil becomes fertile, and every thought has the potential to take root and flourish. The subconscious mind responds not merely to repetition, but to conviction. It accepts as truth the ideas that are reinforced with feeling. You must understand that belief is not something you either possess or lack permanently. It is a state that can be cultivated. Just as muscles are developed through exercise, belief is strengthened through repeated, emotionally charged thoughts. The more you affirm an idea with conviction, the more real it becomes to your subconscious mind. Over time, belief replaces doubt, and certainty replaces hesitation. Emotion is the catalyst in this process. It is the energy that transforms a simple thought into a powerful command. A thought expressed without emotion is easily ignored by the subconscious, but when combined with feeling, desire, enthusiasm, confidence, it becomes deeply embedded. The stronger the emotion, the more rapidly the idea is accepted and acted upon. Consider how fear operates. A single fearful thought, when reinforced with strong emotion, can dominate the mind, influence decisions, and dictate behavior. This is negative autosuggestion driven by emotion. The same mechanism can be harnessed positively. When you attach powerful, positive emotion to your goals, your subconscious begins to work in your favor, guiding your actions and shaping your reality. I have often said that desire is the starting point of all achievement. Desire is, in essence, emotion directed toward a goal. It is the burning intensity that compels action, sustains effort, and overcomes obstacles. When you combine desire with autosuggestion, you create a force that is difficult to resist. Your thoughts become energized, your actions become purposeful, and your persistence becomes unwavering. To apply this principle effectively, you must move beyond mechanical repetition. Do not merely say your affirmations, experience them. When you declare your goal, visualize it vividly. See it as though it has already been achieved. Feel the satisfaction, the pride, the excitement. Engage your senses. Imagine the environment, the people, the outcomes. The more detailed and emotionally engaging the visualization, the more powerful its effect on your subconscious mind. Another essential aspect of belief is consistency. You cannot affirm success one moment and entertain doubt the next. Conflicting thoughts weaken the process. Your subconscious receives mixed signals and cannot act decisively. To build belief, you must discipline your mind to focus on your purpose and reject thoughts that contradict it. This requires awareness and practice, but the results are profound. I recall studying an individual who struggled for years with self-doubt. Despite his abilities, he lacked confidence and hesitated to pursue opportunities. Through deliberate practice of autosuggestion combined with emotional intensity, he began to shift his thinking. Each day, he affirmed his competence, visualized success, and focused on his strengths. Over time, his belief grew. He began to act with confidence, seize opportunities, and achieve results that had previously seemed beyond his reach. His transformation was not sudden, but it was inevitable once belief took hold. It is important to recognize that belief influences not only your actions, but also your perception. You begin to notice opportunities that align with your goals. You interpret challenges as temporary obstacles rather than insurmountable barriers. You become more resilient, more creative, and more decisive. This shift in perception is one of the most valuable outcomes of combining belief with autosuggestion. Doubt, on the other hand, is the enemy of belief. It weakens conviction, disrupts focus, and undermines action. Doubt often arises from past failures, negative influences, or fear of the unknown. To overcome it, you must consciously replace it with positive, reinforcing thoughts. Each time doubt appears, counter it with affirmation and visualization. Over time, the positive thoughts will dominate, and doubt will diminish. Another powerful technique is to surround yourself with evidence of success. Study the achievements of others, read inspiring stories, and associate with individuals who embody the qualities you seek. This external reinforcement strengthens your internal belief. It provides proof that your goals are attainable, and that the principles you're applying are effective. Emotion can also be cultivated through action. When you take steps toward your goal, even small ones, you create a sense of progress and accomplishment. This reinforces positive emotion, which in turn strengthens belief. Action and emotion form a cycle, each reinforcing the other. The more you act, the more confident you become. The more confident you become, the more you act. It is also essential to guard against negative emotional states. Fear, anger, envy, and doubt can all disrupt the process of autosuggestion. These emotions, when allowed to dominate, reinforce negative beliefs and hinder progress. By maintaining a positive mental attitude and focusing on your purpose, you minimize the influence of these destructive forces. The integration of belief and emotion transforms autosuggestion from a simple practice into a powerful force of transformation. It aligns your conscious desires with your subconscious processes, ensuring that your thoughts, actions, and environment work together toward a common goal. Remember, the mind is not a passive entity. It responds actively to the ideas you present to it. When those ideas are reinforced with belief and emotion, they become directives that shape your behavior and influence your results. This is the secret behind many of the successes I have studied. It is not merely what individuals do, but what they believe and how deeply they feel it. In the next section, I will reveal how repetition and daily practice turn autosuggestion into a permanent habit, ensuring that your mind remains consistently aligned with success, regardless of external circumstances. Now that you understand the role of belief and emotion in autosuggestion, we must turn to the mechanism that makes it permanent: repetition. Without repetition, even the most powerful ideas fade. With repetition, even the simplest thoughts become dominant forces in your mind. It is through daily programming that autosuggestion evolves from a conscious effort into an automatic habit. The subconscious mind learns through repetition. It does not respond to occasional effort or fleeting intention. It requires consistent, deliberate input. Each time you repeat a thought, you strengthen a mental pathway. Over time, these pathways become ingrained, shaping your behavior, your reactions, and your perception of reality. This is the foundation of habit formation. Consider how habits are formed in everyday life. A behavior repeated often enough becomes automatic. You no longer think about it, you simply act. The same principle applies to thought. When you repeatedly focus on a specific idea, especially one reinforced with belief and emotion, it becomes a dominant pattern in your mind. This pattern influences your decisions and actions without conscious effort. To harness this power, you must establish a daily routine of mental programming. This is not optional, it is essential. Begin each day by clearly stating your purpose. Speak your goal aloud, with conviction. Visualize the outcome in detail. Engage your emotions. This morning ritual sets the tone for your thoughts and actions throughout the day. Throughout the day, reinforce this programming. When faced with decisions, ask yourself whether they align with your purpose. When doubt arises, counter it immediately with positive affirmation. When distractions appear, redirect your focus. This continuous reinforcement ensures that your mind remains aligned with your objective. In the evening, review your progress. Reflect on your actions, your thoughts, and your results. Identify areas where you remained aligned with your purpose and areas where you deviated. This reflection is not for criticism, but for adjustment. It allows you to refine your approach and strengthen your habits. Repetition must be consistent and disciplined. Sporadic effort produces sporadic results. To reprogram your mind effectively, you must commit to daily practice. Even a few minutes each morning and evening, when applied consistently, can produce profound changes over time. The key is not duration, but consistency and intensity. It is important to understand that repetition alone is not enough. You must also maintain clarity and focus. Repeating vague or conflicting ideas will produce confusion. Your statements must be precise, your goals clearly defined, and your intentions unwavering. The subconscious mind responds best to clarity. Another critical factor is environmental reinforcement. Surround yourself with reminders of your purpose. Write your goals where you can see them. Use visual cues, notes, or symbols that trigger your focus. These external reminders support your internal programming, ensuring that your mind remains aligned even when distractions arise. I have observed that individuals who achieve extraordinary success often follow structured routines. They do not leave their thoughts to chance. They deliberately program their minds each day, reinforcing their goals, strengthening their beliefs, and aligning their actions. This discipline separates them from those who rely on inspiration or luck. Let me share an example. A businessman I studied began each day with a written statement of his goals. He read it aloud, visualized success, and committed to specific actions. Throughout the day, he referred back to this statement, ensuring alignment. At night, he reviewed his progress and adjusted his strategy. Over time, this routine became second nature. His thoughts, decisions, and actions became synchronized, leading to consistent and measurable success. Repetition also strengthens confidence. Each time you affirm your ability and take action, you reinforce the belief that you are capable. Confidence grows gradually, built upon repeated experiences of alignment and progress. This confidence, in turn, enhances your ability to act decisively and persist in the face of challenges. It is equally important to eliminate negative repetition. Many individuals unknowingly reinforce limiting beliefs through repeated negative thoughts. Statements such as "I can't," "this is too difficult," or "I always fail" become embedded in the subconscious through repetition. To reprogram your mind, you must consciously replace these patterns with positive, constructive alternatives. Another technique is to combine repetition with written reinforcement. Writing your goals and affirmations engages additional cognitive processes, strengthening the impact. The act of writing clarifies thought, increases focus, and reinforces memory. By writing your statements daily, you deepen their influence on your subconscious mind. Time is a crucial factor. Do not expect immediate transformation. The subconscious mind changes gradually, but with consistent repetition, the change is inevitable. Just as water shapes stone over time, repeated thought shapes the mind. What begins as effort becomes habit. What becomes habit becomes character. And what becomes character determines your destiny. Repetition also prepares you for opportunity. When your mind is consistently focused on your goal, you become more aware of possibilities that align with it. You recognize opportunities that others overlook. You act more quickly and decisively. This is not coincidence, it is the result of a mind conditioned through repetition. To summarize, repetition is the mechanism that transforms autosuggestion into a permanent force. It embeds ideas into your subconscious, aligns your thoughts with your purpose, and shapes your behavior. Through daily programming, you take control of your mental patterns, replacing randomness with intentionality and doubt with certainty. In the next section, I will explain how autosuggestion influences your actions and results, demonstrating how internal programming translates into external success and tangible achievement. You have learned that autosuggestion influences the subconscious mind through belief, emotion, and repetition. But the ultimate purpose of this process is not merely to change how you think, it is to transform how you act. For it is action, and action alone, that produces results. The true power of autosuggestion lies in its ability to bridge the gap between thought and action, turning internal programming into external achievement. The subconscious mind is the driving force behind your behavior. It governs your habits, your reactions, your decisions, and even your perception of opportunity. When you reprogram your subconscious through autosuggestion, you are not simply altering your thoughts, you are reshaping the very foundation upon which your actions are built. Most individuals attempt to change their results by focusing solely on action. They try harder, work longer, and push themselves with discipline. While effort is important, it is often inconsistent when not supported by the subconscious. Without alignment between thought and action, effort becomes exhausting and unsustainable. Autosuggestion solves this problem by aligning your internal beliefs with your external behavior. When your subconscious mind accepts a goal as reality, it begins to guide your actions naturally. You find yourself making decisions that support your purpose. You are drawn to opportunities that align with your objectives. You act with greater confidence and less hesitation. What once required effort becomes instinctive. This is the transformation that autosuggestion makes possible. Consider the difference between forced action and aligned action. Forced action is driven by willpower alone. It is inconsistent, often resisted, and easily disrupted by obstacles. Aligned action, on the other hand, flows naturally from belief. When you believe in your goal, when you see it as inevitable, your actions become consistent and purposeful. You no longer struggle to act, you are compelled to act. I have observed this principle in countless successful individuals. One man I studied began his journey with little more than a clear goal and a commitment to daily autosuggestion. At first, his actions were hesitant. He doubted himself, questioned his decisions, and struggled to maintain consistency. But as he continued to reinforce his beliefs, something remarkable occurred. His confidence grew, his decisions became clearer, and his actions more decisive. Over time, he transitioned from effort to flow, from forcing progress to naturally creating it. Autosuggestion also enhances your ability to recognize opportunity. The mind is selective, it filters information based on what it considers important. When you program your mind with a clear goal, you train it to notice opportunities that align with that goal. What once seemed invisible becomes obvious. This is not luck, it is perception shaped by intention. Furthermore, autosuggestion influences your response to challenges. When faced with obstacles, an untrained mind may react with fear, doubt, or avoidance. But a mind conditioned for success interprets challenges differently. It sees them as temporary, as problems to be solved, rather than barriers to be feared. This shift in perception leads to more effective action, greater persistence, and ultimately better results. Another critical effect is on decision-making. Indecision is one of the greatest enemies of success. It leads to missed opportunities, wasted time, and diminished confidence. Through autosuggestion, you develop clarity and certainty. Your decisions become aligned with your purpose, reducing hesitation and increasing efficiency. You act quickly and confidently, knowing that your choices are guided by a well-conditioned mind. It is important to recognize that autosuggestion does not eliminate effort, it enhances it. You must still take action, face challenges, and persist through difficulty. But the nature of your effort changes. It becomes more focused, more consistent, and more effective. Instead of working harder, you begin to work smarter, guided by a mind that is aligned with your goals. Let us also consider the role of habit. As you continue to practice autosuggestion and take aligned action, your behaviors become habitual. What was once deliberate becomes automatic. You no longer need to remind yourself to act, you simply do. This is the ultimate objective: to make success-oriented behavior a natural part of your daily life. There is a powerful feedback loop at work here. Autosuggestion influences action, action produces results, and results reinforce belief. Each cycle strengthens the next. Small successes build confidence, confidence strengthens belief, and belief drives further action. Over time, this cycle accelerates, producing exponential growth in both performance and results. However, it is essential to remain vigilant. Negative influences, distractions, and doubt can disrupt this alignment. You must continually reinforce your programming, maintain your focus, and protect your mental environment. The process is ongoing, but the rewards are substantial. One of the most profound realizations you will experience is that your external world reflects your internal state. Change your thoughts, and you change your actions. Change your actions, and you change your results. Autosuggestion is the tool that allows you to control this process deliberately. In practical terms, begin each day by programming your mind with your desired outcome. Throughout the day, act in alignment with that programming. At night, reflect on your actions and adjust your approach. This cycle, repeated consistently, creates a powerful momentum that drives you toward your goals. The transition from thought to action is where many fail. They think, they plan, they visualize, but they do not act. Autosuggestion ensures that this does not happen. It connects intention with execution, turning ideas into reality. In the next and final section, I will bring all these principles together, showing you how to create a complete system of autosuggestion that guarantees long-term success, resilience, and continuous growth. By now, you understand how autosuggestion can shape your thoughts, influence your actions, and ultimately determine your results. But there is an obstacle that must be addressed if you are to fully harness this power: negative programming. Before you can successfully reprogram your mind for success, you must first recognize and neutralize the patterns that are working against you. Every individual carries within them a set of beliefs, many of which were formed long before they became aware of them. These beliefs are influenced by upbringing, environment, education, and past experiences. Some of these beliefs are empowering, but many are limiting. They operate silently, shaping your perception of what is possible and influencing your behavior without your conscious awareness. Negative programming often reveals itself through habitual thoughts such as "I am not good enough," "I will probably fail," or "success is for others, not for me." These thoughts, repeated over time, become deeply embedded in the subconscious mind. They influence your decisions, your actions, and your willingness to take risks. They create a self-fulfilling prophecy in which your behavior aligns with your limiting beliefs. To overcome negative programming, the first step is awareness. You must become conscious of the thoughts you repeat daily. Pay attention to your internal dialogue. What do you say to yourself when you face a challenge? What assumptions do you make about your abilities and your potential? By observing these patterns, you bring them into the light, where they can be examined and changed. The second step is rejection and replacement. Once you identify a negative belief, you must deliberately reject it. Do not entertain it, do not justify it, and do not allow it to persist. Replace it immediately with a positive, constructive alternative. If the thought arises, "I cannot do this," counter it with, "I am capable of learning and succeeding." This process must be repeated consistently until the new belief takes root. It is important to understand that this is not a one-time effort. Negative programming is often deeply ingrained, reinforced over years or even decades. It requires persistence and discipline to change. But with consistent application of autosuggestion, the old patterns weaken and the new patterns strengthen. Over time, the balance shifts, and your subconscious begins to operate in alignment with your desired beliefs. Another powerful method is to control your environment. The people you associate with, the information you consume, and the experiences you engage in all influence your mental programming. Negative environments reinforce negative beliefs. Surrounding yourself with pessimistic individuals, engaging in discouraging conversations, or consuming negative media can undermine your efforts. Instead, choose environments that support your growth. Seek out individuals who are positive, ambitious, and aligned with your goals. Engage with ideas that inspire and educate. Create a mental and physical space that reinforces your purpose. This external alignment strengthens your internal programming, making it easier to maintain positive thoughts and beliefs. Fear is one of the most powerful forms of negative programming. It operates through emotion, making it particularly influential. Fear of failure, fear of criticism, fear of rejection. These fears can paralyze action and prevent progress. To overcome fear, you must confront it directly, analyze it, understand it, and take action despite it. Each time you act in the presence of fear, you weaken its influence and strengthen your confidence. Autosuggestion plays a critical role in this process. By repeatedly affirming courage, confidence, and capability, you counteract the emotional intensity of fear. Over time, the positive beliefs become stronger than the negative ones, and fear loses its power to control your actions. Another key factor is self-discipline in thought. The mind naturally drifts toward familiar patterns. If those patterns are negative, you must consciously redirect your thoughts. This requires effort, especially in the beginning. But as you practice, it becomes easier. The new patterns become familiar, and the old patterns fade. I have observed that individuals who achieve great success are not free from negative thoughts. They simply do not allow those thoughts to dominate. They recognize them, challenge them, and replace them with constructive alternatives. They maintain control over their mental environment, ensuring that their dominant thoughts support their goals. One effective technique is to create a mental filter. Before accepting any idea, ask yourself whether it aligns with your purpose. If it does not, reject it. This applies not only to your own thoughts, but also to the ideas presented by others. By filtering input, you protect your subconscious from negative programming and reinforce your desired beliefs. It is also helpful to track your progress. Notice changes in your thinking, your behavior, and your results. Celebrate improvements, no matter how small. Each positive change reinforces your belief in the process and strengthens your commitment. Progress, once recognized, becomes motivation. The transformation of your mental programming is gradual but powerful. At first, it requires conscious effort. You must observe, reject, and replace thoughts deliberately. Over time, the process becomes automatic. Your default thinking shifts from limitation to possibility, from doubt to confidence. This shift changes not only how you think, but how you act and what you achieve. Ultimately, taking control of your mind is the foundation of success. Autosuggestion provides the method, but it is your discipline and persistence that determine the outcome. By eliminating negative programming and reinforcing positive beliefs, you create a mental environment that supports your goals and drives your actions. In the final section, I will bring together all the principles of autosuggestion into a unified system, showing you how to apply them consistently to achieve lasting success and continuous growth.